All right, good evening, everyone. Again, I'm Sandro Tejada, Director of Development for Parents and Families. Thanks for joining our virtual coffee and conversation for first year parents. A quick heads up, tonight's session is being recorded, so families who can't make it live can watch later, and we'll be sharing a transcript of the recording as well. Please keep yourself muted during the remarks. If you have a question that pops up, please just drop it in the chat. We're monitoring, or you could hold it for the Q&A session towards the end. Again, what we're going to cover real quick is how the student success team supports your student. Some fast and practical resources for academics, belonging, wellness, and safety. And again, as I mentioned, a brief Q&A. I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Monica Burnette, our Vice President of Student Services. Dr. Burnette oversees student services across the academic success, campus inclusion and community, student engagement, business affairs, student wellness and support, and public safety and security. Since joining Seton Hall in 2013, she has held multiple leadership roles, including Associate VP and Chief of Staff, and she has co-authored major federal TRIO and state Omni grants totaling close to 2.7 million to support our students, your students. Monica, thank you for being here, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Sandro, and good evening,
Welcome.
everybody. It's so good to be with you today. Again, my name is Dr. Monica Burnette, and I am very proud to serve as the Vice President of Student Services today. And I just want you to give yourselves a virtual round of applause. It's already week 4, so we're really excited for you to all be here. And I'm really happy to share a little bit more about the Division of Student Services, provide us all with tips on how we can continue to have a successful first year and be able to answer any questions that you might have as well. So a little bit about me. I saw that we have some folks joining from California. I'm also from California, born and raised in San Francisco. I joined the Seton Hall family about 12 years ago, and I received my bachelor's degree from the University of California, Davis, my master's at Columbia University, and my PhD right here at Seton Hall. So what I love most about Seton Hall is really how the university focuses on a place and a home for the heart, mind, and spirit. And our division really focuses on those values and our mission as well. We really want to make sure that we're really focusing on 2 main goals. The first is holistic student success. So again, not just making sure that students are successful academically, but also socially, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. I know that transitioning from high school to college can be a very difficult thing. So we really want to make sure that we are providing students with the resources that can help them along the way. And our second main goal is to continue to foster a welcoming, inclusive, supportive campus community for all of our students. We really want to help prepare them for the life after college. We really want them to reach their full potential as leaders and make that positive impact on the world. So how we describe the Division of Student Services is that we take care of the students outside of the classroom. And I want to remind you that all the services that we're going to be talking about today are included in your tuition. So we really want to make sure that students take advantage of them early and often. Asking for help at Seton Hall is a very important life skill, and we really want to make sure that we can help them throughout the way. So the first area that we're going to cover is academic success and support. We know that adjusting academically is a common challenge that many of our students face when they're transitioning from high school to college. You know, they're facing new academic expectations. They're really focusing on building their independent study habits. And I just want to share that many students often struggle with things like time management. You know, they're understanding new academic structures, they're adapting to higher level critical thinking demands, and this is completely normal. Nationally, around 52% of first year college students report that their coursework is challenging. But luckily, at Seton Hall, we have a number of academic resources to help. We have a very unique 4-person advising model, which Sandro had alluded to. It is called the Student Success Team. And the first person on that team is your student. We want all of our students to have ownership of their academic journey. And that means not only showing up to class, and doing the work, but also being prepared for their meetings with their faculty advisors, their faculty office hours, asking questions, seeking help. The second person on that team is who we call their student success advisor. And this is a professional advisor that is also their university life professor. All first year students, as you know, take a 1 credit seminar course called University Life, and this will help them to acclimate to college. So this university life professor is connecting with them already at least once a week, and this person should really be their go-to for those campus resources. The third person on the student success team is their career advisor. So at Seton Hall, we really want all of our students, even our first year students, to start meeting with their career advisor early and often. Maybe they have a question about a career that they're thinking about. Maybe they're having trouble figuring out how their major connects them to their career. Their career advisor is set up with them from day one, so they can already go ahead and meet with them. They're located in Bailey Hall. And the fourth person is their faculty advisor. So once your student officially declares their major, they're going to be paired with a faculty advisor in their college or school. And they should be able to use this faculty advisor, not just for registration, not just for advising, but also for mentorship. It's a really good opportunity to build those connections early. In addition to that, we also have a number of different academic support resources along the way, everything from academic tutoring to study skills workshops with the Academic Resource Center, writing and math help through the Writing Center and the Math Learning Lab. And every student has access to our free online 365 24/7 tutoring platform called tutoring.com. So if they have not signed up already, we would encourage them to do so. I just want to remind this group here, as parents, all of our first year students have a common read. It's a summer reading book that they received during Pirate Adventure. So they're already discussing this book right now. This year, the book that was selected was called The Serviceberry: Abundance and Reciprocity in the Natural World. So this book really highlights the idea of how we build community based on ideas of generosity and gratitude, reciprocity and care. So we really feel like a common reading experience is going to be highlighted through different fall events and spring events and really kind of bring our first year students together too. I also want to remind our parents that your students are also highly encouraged to connect with their peer advisors. So these are highly motivated upper class students who are their teaching assistants in their university life class. So peer advisors can help students solve common first year issues. They can connect them to different campus resources and really encourage them to get involved academically and socially. I saw in the chat that some of our students are having trouble transitioning. Again, this is perfectly normal, especially in the first couple of weeks. But I would say if you can, remind them that they have a peer advisor on campus that can help them and guide them through some of their troubles. We know that this is an important time for them to stay connected. Midterms are coming up very soon, so we really want to make sure that we address some of those issues that they're having right now. Some of our students and our parents are asking about social success. We know that social success and support is really important as a part of the college experience. And again, it's not uncommon for our first year students to struggle with things like making friends or acclimating socially. In fact, nationally, research suggests that about 20 to 25% of college students experience some sort of difficulty adjusting to social life in their first year. And this could lead to feelings of loneliness or homesickness. Again, these are all very normal feelings and experiences. But again, we really want to encourage our parents and our students to remember that there are a number of different activities that students can take advantage of. Parents can help us by promoting campus involvement. We can really encourage our students to get involved in campus activities, different clubs or organizations. This really helps our students to build their social networks, to help them to develop skills, and really feel a sense of belonging on campus. We know that this is crucial for emotional well-being. So right now, our Student Activities Board, as well as our Office of Student Engagement, has been doing a number of different activities through what we call the weeks of welcome and the first 56 days. So even this week, we're going to have a movie on campus on Thursday night and food trucks on Friday. It's a really great time for students just to stay connected and meet new friends. I would also, too, encourage students to attend a student government association. If they don't know where to start, they can always attend the SGA meeting. They meet every Mondays at 7:30 in the University Center. And this is a good chance for them to also meet some student leaders, ask some questions, maybe volunteer for a committee if they're interested in it, and really start to get involved. The SGA is a really good connection for students who might not know where to go. We also just want to remind our students of different service learning and campus ministry opportunities, as well as, attending athletic events is also part of our Seton Hall culture. We're really proud of our D1 athletics. So, once those basketball season tickets come out, it's important that students also take advantage of some of those events too. It's a really good way to build community. We know that college students can also experience feelings of anxiety and loneliness in college. And again, this is completely normal. Some of our students, as I saw, some of them are from California, are moving very far from home. Some of them are balancing work and school. Some of them are taking care of family members at home. Some of them are commuting from far places. So we really know that Seton Hall has a plethora of different students who come with their own lived experiences. So we really want to make sure that they feel well connected. If they are feeling lonely, if they are feeling anxious or depressed, that there are several resources available to help support them. Our counseling and psychological services programs offers things like short-term individual therapy, group therapy, crisis and consultation, outside referrals if longer term help is needed. We also have online resources like You Will, which is a telehealth option that all students can sign up for. It's free, as well as self-help resources and videos on the Counseling and Psychological Services website. We promote a lot of different health and wellness activities and mindfulness and residence life for those of our students who are living on campus. We really want to make sure that they have a positive living learning community. So if your student is living on campus and they are experiencing something in their residence hall, I would encourage them to speak with their resident assistant. These are, again, student leaders on campus who have been trained to help students work through things like social support, campus resources, campus and crisis issues, as perhaps even roommate conflicts, as those might come up as well. But speaking with their RA is a great first step to kind of helping them to resolve that issue. We also want to remind our parents of different offices like our financial aid office, as well as campus ministry and the recreation center. All of these really help students to think about that holistic view of student success and really make sure that they have all the resources that they need. Our mission in our division, again, is to foster a welcoming, inclusive, supportive campus community for everybody. So we really try to lead with values like compassion and empathy. We know that when students feel like they belong and they feel like they're supported, the more likely they will feel like they will be able to thrive. And belonging to us means that they feel comfortable being themselves, that they feel connected to their peers and their community members, as well as feel like they are contributing positively to the campus environment. And we have several resources to ensure that we have a safe and respectful and welcoming campus environment. So if a student is ever experiencing an issue and they don't know where to go, the Dean of Students office is a great resource. They're located on the second floor of the University Center, and they're responsible from everything from sexual violence prevention to education regarding alcohol and drugs, to anything related to the student code of conduct. Public and safety and security, like we say, is everybody's responsibility. So they're located right by the Ward Gate on Seton Hall's campus, and they're open 365, 24/7. So if there's ever an issue on campus, students should feel able and willing to call public safety. We can definitely help if there's ever needed that. We also do have a campus inclusion center on campus that's also located on the second floor of the University Center, and that's a safe and welcoming place for everybody. It's next door to the non-denominational prayer room. And then last but not least, we have a number of different resources for our first generation students as well. This year, about 39% of our incoming students do identify as first generation. So we really want to make sure that we're supporting not only our students, but also our parents too. Finally, I just want to have some quick tips as we continue to build our partnership together. So, as a parent myself, I really see our relationship as a partnership. You know, we have to have a common goal of helping all of our students succeed academically and socially, and have a place where they feel like they belong and are included, and really continue to foster that community where we work together to solve different problems or issues. So, the first tip I have is to normalize the struggle. I shared with you some of those national statistics about academic support and social support. It's important to remind our students to let them know that they're not alone, right, as they transition to college. Every student here in their first year is starting their first semester. Perhaps they're living with somebody new for the first time. You know, they're all in their week 4. They're trying to find different clubs and organizations and new friends. And these opportunities are all part of that college experience. To ease some of these challenges, we do again encourage all of our students to seek out those campus resources early and often. We have trained professionals that have years of experience, that have worked with thousands of students. So we always say, help us help them, right? I know sometimes it's easier to pick up the phone and try to solve that problem yourself, but right now is an important time where we empower our students to develop those skills to advocate for themselves, right? And to really help them to solve those problems. The third is to continue to encourage active participation. So make sure that your student is seeking their social support system. It's easy for them to just come to class and then go home and not feel connected, but feeling connected, a part of it is putting themselves out there a little bit and being uncomfortable. Unfortunately, sometimes the most growth that we'll ever feel is when we're in an uncomfortable situation, right? So it's important for them to maybe take a step outside of their comfort zone. Sometimes it's just meeting that one friend that will like go to them to an event that they might feel awkward at, but it's important that they at least take that step. If it's hard for them to do it socially, sometimes it's easier to do it academically, right? So maybe in a class, particularly maybe even their university life class, making, you know, a friend in that class, and then really, you know, kind of seeing where that leads, or working with that peer advisor in that class too. I also want to remind folks that we're part of a great community here at Seton Hall, both on campus and also in the village of South Orange. So really encourage them to explore and stay engaged and get involved. You know, it's really their chance right now to make Seton Hall their home away from home, right? And I know for some of our resident students, I said this during Pirate Adventure, it's sometimes easy for them to just come home over the weekends, but sometimes the weekends are the best times for them to have time to attend those events and to meet people. So every Friday, we do send out a weekly newsletter to all of our students. You can see those newsletters on our student services website under news. So you can see, you know, things that are also popping up. There are ways for them to also get connected. And remember that New York City is only 14 miles away, right? So it's a really quick train ride for them to also explore the city. It's a good opportunity for them to also, you know, find different activities that they might be interested in. Fourth, you know, one of the things that we always talk about too with parents is, and you know that right now you're transitioning to more of the coach role for them, right? So that means asking more questions and listening, but also letting them take some excuse me, responsibility for solving the problem, and staying on top of their assignments, making sure that they're checking their school email. But again, this is their time to grow and thrive, and really building trust in them that you've done your good work for the past 18 years. And now it's time for them to kind of, you know, move forward and take on the reins themselves. We do know that there is a lot of peer pressure at college. There's a lot of decisions to be made, and distractions that might come with the territory. So really making sure that the students can talk to you and help them to understand that you understand what they're going through as well. And then the last couple of things, you know, just checking in on them, making sure that they're okay, keeping them involved in your family. Sometimes it's great for you to plan maybe a call time, if it's like once a week where you can check in. It's a great way to avoid that homesickness, which is very natural, especially during this time. And especially as they kind of get towards the midterms, this is when it's going to happen. And when they do, get a chance to come home, giving them that space to relax and rest and recover as well. And then last but not least, asking for help. At Seton Hall, we really see asking for help as a sign of strength and not weakness. So encouraging our students to seek help early and often is really important. We always say, if we don't know, then we can't help. So if they do have a question or concern, please ask them to reach out to us. Our motto at Seton Hall is hazards that forward, which means that no matter the peril, ever forward. So we persevere. We don't give up. We really believe in our students that they can make it through. And we really believe that this year is going to be very successful. So before we jump into questions, I just wanted to remind folks of all of the ways for you as parents to stay connected. And I'm sure Sandra is also going to share a couple of ways too. But it's a great way for them to take a look at not only the weekly emails that I had mentioned, but also there is a student platform called Engage on our campus. And that's a way for all of our clubs and organizations, many of our campus departments post different events there. So when students say, I don't know what's going on campus, Engage is a really good way to do that, as well as the university event calendar. We have a suggestion box on our Seton Hall Student Services website. So anybody can leave a suggestion in there. Whether it be, anything about a question about finding an academic advisor to, how can I get involved with community service? If you leave a suggestion in your email, we will be sure to respond back to you. Some of the departments don't funnel up to student services, but we'll make sure that it gets shared with the appropriate party as well. And then just some last resources. The website is a really good way for you to learn a little bit more about student services, as well as our annual report. You can also email us at studentservices@shu.edu, and you can also follow us on Instagram at Hall Students and at Seton Hall. So with that, I'm sure you have many, many questions, which I'm excited to answer for you. But we'll go ahead and wrap up the formal part of the presentation.
Thank you, Monica. Wonderful presentation. If anyone would like to unmute themselves and raise their hand and ask a question, I know there's one in the chat that was shared pretty early in your presentation, so I'll go there first. And anyone that has a question, just raise your hand and we'll just try to go in order. So there is a question from Letitia Holloway Owens. She has a freshman and she's having issues with calculus. He has gone to office hours but needs additional help. She suggested he go to the Academic Success Center to ask for help. His dorm mate didn't have success when he went for help. Is there a calculus guru on campus who can help?
Yes.
Great
question, Letitia. So I would encourage him to go to the Academic Resource Center. So the Academic Resource Center is a great place for students to not only get peer tutoring, but many of the tutors that they're working with have taken the calculus course, right? So it's a really good opportunity for them to get connected with them, and they can make an appointment with the Academic Resource Center on a platform that we called Compass here. And first year students should know how to get into that. But it's basically, if they go through their pirate net and they click on Compass, they can basically set up an appointment one-on-one with a calculus tutor. We also have a math learning lab on campus too. So that's in addition to the Academic Resource Center, right? So I know that it sounds like his dorm mate didn't have a great experience there, but I will say that, over 95% of students who do go to tutoring have found it very helpful. So it is important that your student kind of has their own experience, and I think that it would be helpful. And sometimes it takes more than just one session. I think that that's sometimes the issue too. Like sometimes students go once and then they feel like it's not helpful, but it's like going to the gym, right? The more you go, the more outcomes that you'll see. And it's the same way with a very difficult course like calculus. So I would really encourage your student to take advantage of that. And I'll post some links in the chat too while you're talking, Sandra.
Yep, and I posted a link to the Academic Resource Center there. So anyone that would love to unmute themselves and ask Monica a question, please do so. If not, then I'm going to have to look at the chat and share a question, which is fine.
Tisha, I'm also putting the Math Learning Lab link in here too.
Okay, wonderful. Hi, Lena. I know we've communicated over the last 2 weeks, and I know your son is having a tough time transitioning. And is there a specific question you would like to ask Monica in regards to some ideas, or she did share some recommendations in regards to transitioning. But if you want to mute and ask a question, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you'd like to unmute yourself. Okay.
Somebody asked about very similar to Letitia's question about
Okay.
time management. I also saw that. So yes, the
Yeah.
Academic Resource Center also provides workshops that can help with time management. So that's another way for students to find different information there too. So I can also post that in the chat.
Right. And I see Regina has her hands raised. If you want to unmute yourself, feel free to ask a question. Let me see. I think let me just unmute everyone. See what.
I'll just follow what's going on in the chat
Yeah.
here.
Seems like people are muted, but seems
Yeah,
like I've
if you're muted,
unmuted
you
it.
can just drop your question in the chat and we can kind of go from there as
Yeah.
well. Thank you, Susan, for saying that your son is having fun from San Jose. That's great. Time management. So yeah, we talked about that. I put in the chat a link to some of our Academic Resource Center workshops. So some of them will have things like time management. Some of them will have things like study skills. That's a really good way to do that. Kimberly asked, do the career and student advisors reach out to students? Yes, they do. So they reach out fairly often. So their student success advisor is their university life professor. So they see that person at least once a week during university life course. The career advisors will usually reach out to them through what we call a compass campaign. So that's also a way for students to make appointments, but your students should also feel agency to reach out to them too if they have questions. Usually the Career Center advisors will also send students different events that are on campus, and they could also connect through there too.
Wonderful. I think I was able
Yay.
to unmute
Oh, there we
everyone.
go.
So, hi,
There we
Regina. I'm
go.
so
Yay.
sorry about that. Go right
Woo!
ahead.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's like the worst feeling of timeout all over again.
It is.
So
my
sorry about
question
that.
is my question is regarding roommates.
Sure.
I know that the roommates had an opportunity to meet in advance and have roommate agreements and kind of match their profiles. So my question is, my son currently has a single.
Yeah.
He was not assigned a roommate, but if there's an issue with another set of roommates, would he have the opportunity to meet with the, let's call it transfer student, that would be joining his room to discuss lifestyles and rhythms of their day, or would Bob just randomly pop into his room because there's a spare bed in his room?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So if he is concerned about that, I would advise that he reach out to Residence Life now, as they're kind of doing, there is an opportunity during the course of the semester where they can do like a roommate reshuffle for lack of a better word. So if he is concerned about that, I would have him reach out to residentslife@shu.edu and just ask that specific question so they can make sure that they have that conversation beforehand.
And would that be something to also have with his RA and his suite
Yes.
mates? Because
Yes.
the new person would impact the vibe of everything.
Absolutely. Yes. So he does he know the name of his RA? Is he connected with him already?
I'm sure, I do not
Yeah.
know.
Yes, I would definitely ask him now to reach out to the RAs just so that everybody's on the same page and aware. But that's really good kind of proactive thinking as you move forward. So that's good.
And then I have one more question. I
Sure.
was curious about the dining hall
Hmm.
menu and options. I'm a big proponent that my son needs to navigate some of these things on his own and
Hmm.
stumble a little bit. But I'm curious, is there a place where he can find which stations are open? You know, like what day is
Yes.
the mac and cheese open? I
Yes.
went his the conflict was he went to get a waffle that he made, but they had already put the syrup away and couldn't get the syrup. And he was like,
Yes.
"Well, why is the
I
waffle machine still working?"
Very important question. I'm
How
putting in
many
the
problems? If this
I
is the worst
know.
of my
Hey,
problems, I'm
listen,
doing okay.
if that's the worst of it, I'll take it. So I am putting so dining does not report up to student services, but we work very closely with them. And I do want to share a couple of things. Dining just kind of reopened. I mean, redid their business affairs website as well. But I did put into the chat what the Seton Hall dining link looks like, and right on that front page it says what's open, and you can see what today's menu is based on location. So if they go to what's open at the dining hall, what's open at what's available at Starbucks, Jersey Mike's, etc., and he'll have kind of a better idea of what's being served at what time.
Thank you very much, and I
You're welcome.
appreciate this. Go San
No
Francisco.
problem. Yeah.
Go
Oh,
Giants.
yeah, I will say, once the winter weather starts coming, please feel free to reach out so we can make sure that he is prepared for the snow.
Oy vey. Yeah, for
Snow
sure.
jacket and snow boots. Must.
It's
It's a
so true.
must.
Hi, this is Lena Hollis that Sandro
Yes.
called out earlier, and I was
Sorry,
like,
Lena.
I'm in timeout. Thank you for
It's all
unmuting.
right.
Hi, everybody. I'd like to
Hi,
Hi,
circle
Lena.
Lena.
back to the kids who are having a hard time transitioning. That's the situation that my son Eric is in.
Okay.
And I really want to give a huge shout out to Sandro and Gina Wright and Martin Edwards and the folks that have been so hands-on on campus, because they have, I think, physically gone over to help my son, and he's just having a really hard time, I think, getting out there, which is not the
Mhm.
kid who he was at home, which is
Hmm.
really hard for us, right, to help him manage as he
Yeah.
transitions. So he's getting through it slowly, and I wanted to just whoever's on the other line and having a hard time, I hear you. I feel your heartstrings.
Yeah, I'm sorry that he's having a hard time. And it sounds like it's something new, right? Like a new
Yeah.
experience for him. Can you explain, Lena, just specifically like what he's having a hard time with? Is it academics or social or a little of both or?
No, I think he's probably overwhelmed and
Hmm.
and all of a sudden very shy
Yes.
and all of a sudden very insecure. And I think those are
Hmm.
all new feelings.
Right.
And I just like some of the other folks have said, we really want the kids to advocate for themselves. But it's like you can't make him go to talk to the counselor, right?
Yeah.
Even
Right.
though he knows it's there and we've all
Hmm.
mentioned it and support him with that idea. This is the part of freshman year. They have to take the steps by themselves,
Yes.
and
Exactly.
I really applaud Seton Hall for giving us the bullet points of, this is how we're set up to help your kid. I
Hmm.
really appreciate that. And gosh, I wish he would just take those steps.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and it's tough, right? Because all we can do is remind and support as much as possible, but when he's ready, he's going to take those first steps. And I think, some easy things that you can just maybe nudge him to do is I would say it's easier for students to talk with students sometimes. So I think the peer advisor can be a really powerful person in this equation. And even just, what's your peer advisor's name? That's the first step, right? And if you
Yeah.
don't know, can you get in touch with that peer advisor? Or
Yeah.
I know he's far from home, his RA, because his RA, probably sees him more often. So
Yeah.
um,
And I'd also like to comment on the other mom mentioning the roommate, because he has a roommate that goes home on the weekend and he just stays in his room,
right, right.
and that's not the idea. And I would love to hear, other roommate options,
Mhm.
like the roommate shuffle.
Yeah. So there is a time during housing where they do have an option to search for other roommates. I'm just looking to see if there's a date on there as of yet. But let me do a little bit of digging. And if you could just, and Sandro, I think you have Lena's information. So I'm going to also just follow up with Sandro as well, just so we can stay connected too.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'll follow up with you, Lena, as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello. Hi. This is Jaffer Sheikh, dialing in from Portland, Oregon. I think I
Hello.
met you the other day. Um, as I posted my question, my son has joined the BSMD program, and while has started his classes primarily in the biology major, he hasn't yet encountered any dedicated staff or program-specific guidance related to this BSMD track.
Mhm.
Given the unique nature and demands of this program, would like to understand how Seton Hall plans to support students in this pathway.
Mhm.
Are there specific advisors, mentorship opportunities, or structure check-ins to help BSMD students to stay focused and on track? I understand we have a peer advisors or resources, but he didn't notice any kind of activities or someone who can help him guide through this process.
Yeah, sure. So, through the Center for Academic Success, he does have a designated advisor, a student success advisor that is really well versed in the BSMD track. So that's the first step, is to make sure that he's connected with his student success advisor. That's his university life professor. In addition to that, at Seton Hall, we also have a program called PPAC, which is the pre-health program, pre-professional health program. And they have it's a cohort of students basically that are either interested in, going to pre-professional health programs and medical school. And their role is to help make sure that students are supported through this process, right? Not just through their bachelor's degree, but as they're learning to apply to medical school, for them to also get in touch. So I'm going to drop into the chat the contact for the PPAC office, and your student should definitely get in touch with Chantal, who can definitely help.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Elisa, if you would like to unmute yourself, I know you had your hands raised earlier. Hello?
Hi, can everybody hear me?
Hi. Yes, we can hear you.
Hi. If
Sorry, it's hard to hear. Someone, for others could unmute themselves.
sure.
I
So
think you're
once
fine now. Go ahead, Elisa. Thank you.
thank you. So my daughter question,
It's breaking up. It's a bad connection.
I think it's better now.
Now it's better.
Okay. So, sorority, freshman, sorority, involved.
Hold on a second. If you want to type the question in the chat, that'd be helpful.
It's in reference to sorority. When I started seeking sorority, join.
So the question is, when can a student join a sorority their freshman year?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. If you would like to mute yourself,
Thank you for that question. So, can you hear me?
Perhaps the proctors can just mute everybody and then unmute.
Hello, can you hear me?
hold on. I think we're just going to answer this question first. If you could mute yourself for a second.
Or maybe Sandra, let's just mute everybody and then.
Okay.
Great. Okay. Thank you for your question. So for Greek life, all students must be full-time undergrad students and have earned at least 12 credits at Seton Hall. So it would be after their first semester can they start that process.
All right. Let's see who had their hands raised. We'll go with
If you're
Garrett.
on a cell phone that ends in 44, would you mind muting yourself? If you're on a cell phone that ends in 44, please mute yourself.
Thank you. Trying to mute everyone. It's giving some problems.
Oh my goodness.
It's great that everyone has these questions. Well, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question, I know you've been waiting some time, so please unmute yourself. I hope you can.
Yeah, it's okay. We have
Okay.
2 questions.
Sure.
One,
Thank you.
Our daughter's having a wonderful time at Seton Hall, so we really appreciate all the time and effort you guys have done to make this an amazing experience for the incoming freshmen. The 2 questions we had was we reached out to the university life for the dorms. There's a dorm calendar that's different than the university academic calendar, and that wasn't updated on the website. And since we're out of state, we were just wondering when that residence hall dorm life calendar was going to get updated, so we know when we can when our daughter has access to the dorms with regard to holidays.
Yes, that's a great question. I will contact the Res Life team right now and ensure that that is updated as soon as possible. But everything that you see on the academic calendar are when the official breaks are. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the academic calendar in the chat.
Thank you.
But that is supposed to be exactly similar to the Res Life calendar. So are you talking about the break housing one? Is that the one that you're looking at?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'll make sure that gets updated right away.
Thank you. And the other question is the fall break that's coming up. I believe it's a 5-day break. Will there be activities on campus for students who are staying back? Because a lot of students that my daughter's saying they're going home, and I said, well, maybe you could, find a buddy to go home with.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, it's kind of awkward because it's 5 days. It's not like a 2 or 3 day. Does Seton Hall have plans for students who might be staying back on campus?
Fall break is only 2 days. So fall break is only October 13th and the 14th. So it's not 5 days.
Oh.
Yeah. But we usually do have activities for students because the university is open. It's just that classes are not in session during that time. So we do usually have we have different activities for students. But I will say a lot of times students use fall break to explore other parts of South Orange and New York City during that time. It's a great chance to do that.
I think she was including the weekend. So yeah, the 2 days off during the week and then the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we usually will have things planned probably for the weekend, 13th and 14th. It really depends on whether or not the student clubs and organizations will be around in programming. So, but I would encourage her every email that we send to our students, there's always a section for like things to do in town or things to do in the community. So that might be a good way. And there's a lot of other out-of-state students who are not going home for fall break. So that also might be a good opportunity to connect with other students from out of state and maybe make some plans together.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for all your intentional opportunities that you provide to the kids.
No problem at all.
Thank you. We have David Yusko, if you'd like to unmute yourself. And again, thank you for raising your hand. And for those that have asked questions in the chat, we'll try to answer them in the chat. But feel free to raise your hand. We have probably another 8 to 9 minutes for the Q&A session, so please raise your hand.
Evening, everyone. First off, thanks for all the information. It's definitely helpful. So, real quick question, not to get too far ahead of things, because we don't want to rush things too much, but in anticipation for spring semester in regards to selection of courses.
Yes.
Is that something that obviously it might sound silly, but kind of receive an email for, or will they be meeting with their, I'm assuming their career advisors, to plan out their next steps or their next courses, or just curious of the process with, as far as that's concerned?
That is a great question. So yes, their student success advisors will send them an email. They'll send them a campaign, like an email campaign to sign up for registration. So at Seton Hall, students are not, specifically our first year students are not allowed to register until they meet with an academic advisor. So they're going to have a chance to meet with their academic advisor and to make sure that they have everything that they need to register for courses. So they'll have a couple of different options. Hopefully they'll do well in their fall semester and just be able to move forward. If for some reason they need to retake a course or anything like that, that will also be talked with during their advising appointment. So yes, they will get information well ahead of registration.
Oh, great. Definitely appreciate it. Thanks again.
No problem.
If Ilyas would like to unmute yourself, and feel free to ask a question.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience.
That's fine. I just wanted to ask, how can I monitor the progress of my daughter's study? Because I know my daughter.
Yes.
She is going to leave everything for the last day.
Oh, no.
And then she just won't have enough time to finish all that stuff.
Yes.
Or she will stay like 24 hours of doing some stuff. So it's not right, I think.
Yes.
I
know
should
that.
monitor and check sometimes.
Yes. Unfortunately, there's not a way for you to go in and check, only because, as you know, once a student becomes a college student, their profiles are protected under what we call FERPA, which is the Federal Rights and Privacy Act. Now, she can give you access, meaning that she would have to fill out a form that says, yes, my parents or guardians can have access to my academic records or my financial records, but she would have to take the step to do that. What we have found helpful is that if you have a good conversation with your daughter and say, hey, I really want to make sure that you're doing well in school, so let's review your academic progress together, and how she can do that is through her Compass profile. So essentially what happens is there are two kind of different platforms on Seton Hall's site. We have Compass, where many faculty members will fill out various progress reports for students throughout the academic year. So for example, a progress report is going out right now to our faculty members to provide feedback to the students, whether or not they have good attendance, if they're turning in their work, if they have active participation. If for some reason they're not meeting those standards, faculty members will raise what we call alerts, and those alerts will go to your student as well as their student success advisor. And the role of that student success advisor is to reach out to that student and say, hey, your faculty member has said that you're not doing XYZ. Please come meet with me so we can discuss your academic progress. So if those are the ways that we're able to track and monitor students' progress. So it is important that you have those conversations with your student and say, hey, are you making sure that you're doing your work? Did you get any Compass alerts? Like, those are ways for you to also kind of check on your side too.
So there is a student success advisor.
Correct.
Okay. Who is that person? Can I contact that person?
So that person is their university life professor. So your student should know who their student success advisor is. So they're connected to them. It's their person that teaches their university life class is the same person.
Okay, can she bribe him?
Can she bribe
I'm
him?
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Sir, we are a
Okay,
Catholic
I will
institution.
find
No, I'm
out.
just
And
kidding.
thank you for your answer.
No problem. But I would encourage you though, if she is struggling with time management, like we need to start talking to her now,
I'm
right?
not sure
So,
if she's struggling still, but
okay, but
I don't
let her
know. She's
know,
tennis player, so
yeah. Just let her know, there's a lot of resources. I do want you to know, all the parents on the call, my door is always open. I love meeting with students. My office is on the second floor of the University Center. And if your student ever has a question or concern, please just have them come and see me, and I would be happy to point them in the right direction.
cool. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Elias. There's about 7 other parents waiting to ask a question. We might have time for at least 3 or 4. So, again, if we don't get to all your questions, we'll follow up with you as well and answer all the questions that you might have. Jennifer Gemio, if you would like to unmute yourself and ask your question, and thank you for being patient.
No, thank you. This is really, I guess, a follow-up to the previous the previous parent, and I think many other parents have posted similar questions in the chat. So my son has signed the FERPA form to give my husband and me the ability to, I guess, have access to his records, but there doesn't seem to be a way to actually get access. So, we're able to get a separate login to pay his bills, but there's not like a separate login to be able to see his records. So he's tried to explore it in Compass and can't find anything. And I mean, we talk a lot with him about his classes, so that's good. So it's good communication, but there doesn't seem to be a way to actually see how he is doing.
Yeah, so that would be through, most faculty members also use, in addition to Compass, Canvas, which I'm sure many of our parents on the call are aware of, because that was something that they probably used in high school. It's Canvas. So that is usually the way that faculty members will also kind of post their actual kind of ongoing grades as well. So that actually might be a good way for your student to share that information. There isn't, from my understanding, a way for parents to log into Canvas though. So if you are interested in kind of reviewing that information, it might be a way for you and your son to jump on a call and maybe do like a share screen so he can actually show you, or set up an appointment with the student success advisor, with the parents and the student together. And since you've signed the FERPA, your student is giving you access to that conversation. But that's also a way that some parents find helpful.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Carl, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question. And again, thank you for being patient. And I think we have probably another 4 minutes before we conclude.
Okay, hi. I'm sorry. I'm Mrs. Carl, but
Sorry about that, Mrs. Carl.
two quick questions. We're from out of state, and I'm trying to get tickets, like, for my son to come back for Thanksgiving. And he said that on one of the calendar, Tuesday, the university is closed, but then on his like school calendar, he has class until like 4 p.m. Tuesday night, like some biology lab. Which is correct. I mean, he does not want to miss a class because he said he'll lose points. But also, I don't want him to get stuck there if I can't get a flight out for him. And knowing Jersey at that time with the weather and flight cancellation, I don't want him to be stranded in a different state than us when the school is closed for the holiday.
Understood. So the correct day is Wednesday, November 26th. There are no classes, but there are classes on Tuesday, the 25th. So the academic calendar that's posted online, oh, yep, that Sandra just put in there, that should be the reference point there.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of hard for people who live out of state just to have those few days to fly, back and forth.
Yeah, I understand. I usually travel during that time too, and I usually leave on that Wednesday. So I feel your pain. I understand. It is a tough, I mean, The lab would be tough for him to miss, though. But I mean, it really would be up to, him having a conversation with his professor. But from my understanding, there are classes on Tuesday.
Okay. And second thing, for the dad who was asking about the BSMD, my son did say that I think starting next month, they are going to start the MCAT review classes. So he can look into that, and that's where I guess all the BSMD students will start, their stuff.
Thank you. That's a really good tip. Yes, the PPAC would be a great first step there.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Monica, is okay we can sneak in maybe 2 more questions
Sure,
before 8?
absolutely.
Okay, great.
Happy
So,
to.
yeah, Michelle, if you'd like to unmute yourself, Michelle S. There might be some other Michelles on this call. Feel free. Hi,
My name
Michelle.
is. Hi. Hello?
And we just muted some others. There's some
Okay.
background noise. Go ahead, ask your question. Thank you.
This is not so much as a question, but I have to say, my son is visually impaired. He walks around campus with a cane, and I just want to commend all the students, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, how much help they have given him throughout the campus and welcomed him with open arms and anything he needs, right down to the dining, everything. And I just wanted to say thank your students. And this also goes out to Lena, who spoke earlier. If your son needs a friend, my son is very approachable. Please tell him his name is Antonio. He has a white cane. He's a normal child who just happens to be blind, visually impaired mostly. Please have him go up to my son. He will be more than willing to make friends with your son and welcome him. He's very social. He's involved in lots of things. And please tell him to hang in there.
Thank
Oh,
you so much.
That's so lovely. Thank you so much. This is
Thank
why
you
we
so
love the
much,
Pirate
Michelle.
family.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
I don't know how to get in the chat. I just have a super quick question. I feel like I'm cutting in line.
Uh,
My
go
my
right
son's a
ahead.
my son's a freshman and is super interested in being able to be an RA next year.
Mhm.
When does he actually have to? I'm assuming he probably has to look into that soon for next year.
They will have RA information sessions towards in the next couple of weeks or so, and he'll get a lot of information if he's interested in it. The best
Okay.
thing to do is just to speak with his RA and just ask him when that process is going to be. But that's coming up soon, so he hasn't missed
Perfect.
it.
So he could talk to his RA. All right, great.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Sorry for cutting in
Ne-
line.
That's
worries.
okay.
I
I
have
think,
some. I mean, if everybody has time, I have some time, so I can stay on a
okay.
little longer.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, great. So we'll, I think Nishik, hopefully I don't mispronounce your last name. Nishikant?
You said right. You said
Oh,
right. Yep.
all
This
right,
is
great. Thanks.
Nishakant. Hi.
Thank you for being
Hello,
patient.
everyone.
Hello.
Absolutely. And my son is BSMD, a freshman, and I'm in the New Jersey. My question is very simple. Is there any transportation available to the kids from university to Newark train station, pick and drop?
To Newark Penn.
Yep. Not New York,
Yes.
Newark.
Yes, from Newark, is there transportation from Newark Penn Station to Seton Hall?
That's correct. Yes.
Yes, so there is, New Jersey Transit does have a stop, right in South Orange, and that also can go to Newark Penn. So
He has to
yes,
take the NJ Transit. There's no shuttle
correct.
service from university.
No, but there is a shuttle that goes from Seton Hall to South Orange Station.
Okay, got it.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. And next online is Sheila Bearden. Thank you for being patient.
Yes, hi.
Hi, Sheila.
This is the Minnesotans here, Sandro.
Yes.
Hi.
All right. Yes, I
Hi.
remember
Welcome,
you.
welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're
So
welcome.
I have a quick question. So I got locked out of the student account suite for entering my password wrong too many times. So
Mhm,
my son gave me FERPA access and everything, and so I tried to go in to take a look at our bill, just to confirm that it's been paid.
mhm.
So I'm wondering what resource I can reach out to in order to get unlocked, because I don't see anything on that page.
Yes.
If you have
So,
that information.
the best thing to do is to contact our IT desk at service. I just posted it in the chat, servicedesk@shu.edu, and they can help you reset your password.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sheila. Next on line is Aliza. If you'd like to unmute yourself, I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
Yes, I think you provided Bursar information. My question was about refund. When does that get dispersed? And I read there that once everything has been applied. So
Correct. Yes.
thank you so much.
And the Bursar is
Thank you.
a great resource too if you ever need questions. They're very approachable.
Yep.
And I just wanted to say Tiffany is super happy over there. She loves everybody there.
Oh, good. We're so
That's
happy to
great.
hear that.
That's
Great.
great. John Yally, I know you've been waiting for some time, so please unmute yourself and thank you for being patient. John, are you still with us? If not, Cynthia Ferrer, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes, it's not so much of a question, but hi everyone.
Hello.
I just
Hello,
wanted
how
to
you
say hi
doing?
to Antonio's mother because my son Jeremy, he has the room next to him and he's a great, great kid. Just wanted to
Oh,
Thank
just
you.
say hi.
oh, that's so nice.
And I think WC is on. If you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question, thank you.
Yes, hi. This is when I have my daughter over there, and she's first year, and just wanted to let you know she's having a great time,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
they already have clubs and all that. Anyways, my question is, since we're from California, and is
Yay.
there a shuttle to EWR
There is not a shuttle to
from?
EWR, unfortunately, but there is
Okay.
I think, Sandro, can you get to Newark from New Jersey Transit? You can, yeah?
Yes, there is a train that stops at New Jersey Newark Airport. Yes, International
Yes.
Airport through
Yeah,
New
so
Jersey Transit. Yes.
yeah, so she can take the Seton Hall shuttle that takes her to South Orange train station and then take New Jersey Transit to the airport. And there is a discount, a student pass that she can also get for New Jersey Transit that I put in the chat.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think that's everyone that had a question that raised their hands. I know there are a lot of questions in the chat. We can answer that. We'll follow up and answer those questions. As I said, we'll send a recap of this wonderful presentation that Monica gave us. And thank you for all your questions as well. Monica, I don't know if you have some final words before we time off on the call.
No, I just like to say thank you for all of our parents for joining. I know that this is a really great time for students to be here at Seton Hall, and we just really appreciate you and appreciate all of your questions. And just know that we got their back. We're here to support them. We believe in them. We really want to make sure that they feel like they're supported, and we just really want to make sure that they're successful holistically, and also that we really create a welcoming, inclusive, supportive campus environment. And from the looks of this call, we've already created that. So just welcome again to the Pirate family, and please reach out if you have any questions or concerns.
Thank you, Monica. And I'm just going to say thank you again to Monica for this wonderful presentation. I just, before we sign off, I just want to make sure there's a quick save the date for our Hall Homecoming and Family Weekend, which is almost 2 weeks from Friday, this Friday. It's our reimagined campus-wide celebration for alumni, parents, students, faculty, staff, our South Orange neighbors. It's really a wonderful community event that weekend. And it's a perfect moment to soak up some Pirate Pride, see what's new, and make some fresh family memories. So we hope to see you there. I'll put the link to register if you haven't. I know so far we have close to 900 registrants for the weekend, so we're excited to see everyone. And again, thank you so much. We'll email tonight's recording, hopefully pretty soon, and some of the links that have been shared. And we'll give a nice recap of the presentation as well. Thanks again for partnering with us. We're here to help you and your students be successful. Hazard step forward and go Pirates, and everyone have a good night. Take care. Thank you, Monica.